Joining us live is Ms. Noelle Malvar. She is a senior researcher at policy research firm More in Common. Hi, Noelle. Why do you think a number of PhilAms, like a staggering number, some peg it at around the Philippine embassy there, has it at around 40%? Why do PhilAms support Trump? What is it?
Hi. Well, you can look at it from different angles, right? Despite Trump's harsh immigration policies, Filipino Americans are pro legal immigration, so that's the key word, legal. They are also anti abortion. A lot of them come from religious or Catholic backgrounds, and the Republican the values of the Republican Party are values that they see themselves aligned with, and just conservative values in general of community, of family, are emphasized in the Republican Party, and I think Filipinos relate to that a lot.
All right. Based on today's events, things have moved forward. We've heard President Trump calling off his supporters as well. How do you think, or how long do you think Trump will insist that this election was rigged? Should we expect more of these violent expressions from his supporters, or should we look at maybe at a change of tactic?
I think Trump will always insist the elections are stolen. Like, it could be January 2025, and he'll still be singing the same tune. But I think he's all out of options. I mean, just 15 minutes ago, the Congress certified the electoral count, so it can't get more official. Biden will be the next president of the United States. But personally, I don't think Trump will ever accept it or ever publicly admit that he lost. Um, and the question is whether Republicans or people in his party, who we don't even know if we can call them Republicans now, will finally accept that and move on.
All right. What happens now among Filipino Americans in the United States, specifically those that are near the capital or near Washington? Are a lot of them blue? A lot of them red? What can you tell us about the profile of PhilAms in and around that area right now, which is of course the center of power of the U.S.?
hmm I think, well, like the clip just said, right, we have to verify how many Filipino Americans or Asian Americans were in the protest or took part in the protest. I think a chunk or a significant number of Filipinos will always be conservative in value and part of the Republican Party. It's a question of whether they will support President Trump or now former President Trump after he's out of the office. And there's nothing, I mean, they can be in any party they want. Like, that's democracy and that's America. But they have to also, it doesn't matter what party you're in, you have to follow the rule of law. You have to participate in the Constitution and go within the rules that we all agreed to. And so, yeah, so hopefully when they verify the numbers, hopefully we'll see that it was a very small or a few Filipinos that stormed the Capitol, because it just doesn't seem very Filipino or very American to do that.
Okay, one last question. Do you have any idea how they plan to do that? How do they plan to, take some sort of attendance sheet of those
Hmm.
present at the protests? I mean, a lot of people are masked. It's winter.
Yeah.
A lot of people are
Yeah.
covered up. Do you have any idea how the U.S. plans to do that?
I mean, there were a lot of images, and even the protesters or the mob or whatever terminology you use, they used cameras on themselves. They're not exactly ashamed of what they were doing. They were posting, they were taking selfies. I think there has to be a massive investigation why the security was breached. And included in that investigation is actually identifying who these people are. And the government has the resources. It's important enough. It's crucial that we know everyone and that they follow the rule of law. And if they need to be punished, then that they are punished.
Right, this is still clearly a developing story. Thank you so much for your time, Noelle Malvar, senior researcher at policy research firm More in Common.